What if I told you the best leaders aren't really mechanics, fixing broken parts, but that they're actually more like farmers, patiently cultivating a field? It's an idea that kind of flips the whole script on leadership. Today, we're going to dig into how these timeless principles of agriculture can help us grow a really thriving team culture. Let's get into it. This quote from Ralph Waldo Emerson is, well, it's the perfect place to start. It's really the philosophical seed for our entire discussion. It's this powerful reminder that in leadership, just like on a farm, the really big outcomes, they all start small. A single thought, one small action. These are the seeds that eventually grow into the destiny of your entire organization. So, first things first, let's talk about our field. I want you to picture your organization, or your team, or even just your own mind as this wide open field. It's fertile ground, it's ready for planting. But before you can get anything to grow, you absolutely have to understand the fundamental rule of the land. And that rule is what we call the law of the farm. It's incredibly simple. You reap what you sow. That's it. There are no hacks here, no shortcuts. You can't cram for a harvest the night before, right? This means great results in leadership don't come from some quick fix, but from the natural process of consistent, disciplined work over a long period of time. Okay, so once we understand the law of our field, it's time for maybe the most important decision any farmer makes. What are we going to plant? And this brings us to the principle of investment, making that conscious choice of what seeds you are going to sow into your culture. This slide shows just how perfectly farming translates to leadership. I mean, look at this. Choosing the suitable seed, well, that's about selecting the right people. Fertilizing and irrigating, that's all about developing them through mentorship. And clearing the weeds, oh man, that means proactively dealing with stuff like gossip or negativity that can just poison the soil for everybody else. It's a constant, active process. But here's a concept that might sound a little strange at first. To get any real growth, something has to be given up. A seed has to fundamentally change its state to become something more. And this is what we call the dying to live principle. A seed just sits there, all self-contained, until it's planted. Then it has to break down, it decays, and only then can it start to germinate and multiply. For a leader, this death is the investment of your own time, your energy, and your resources into your team. I know it can feel like a loss and the return is almost never immediate, but it's the only way to get real, sustainable growth in your organization. Now, sowing the seeds, that's just a very beginning. The real work, the day-in, day-out discipline of leadership happens during that long season of cultivation. This is where your patience and your persistence are truly put to the test. The number one rule of cultivation is so simple. Don't uproot a young plant just to check if the roots are growing. Blaming, shouting, micromanaging, these are the leadership versions of doing just that. These actions destroy trust, and they kill growth before it even has a chance to take hold. You have to trust the process that you started. So what does this daily work actually look like? Well, it starts with patience. You have to understand that growth takes time. You just can't rush it. Then you nurture your team through active mentorship, not just management. You feed them with consistent, constructive feedback and all the resources they need to thrive. You're also responsible for the soil itself, which means creating a healthy environment where people feel safe. And finally, and this can be the hardest part, you have to trust and believe in the potential of the people you've so carefully planted. This brings us to a classic leadership debate, right? What's more important, the person or the environment? A farmer knows the answer is both. You can have the best seed in the world, a person with incredible potential, but if you plant it in toxic soil, it's going to wither. As a leader, you are the keeper of the soil. You are responsible for creating the environment where your team is supposed to grow. Now, any farmer will tell you it's not all sunshine and gentle rain. Nope, there are bad seasons, there are pests, there are droughts. Leadership is absolutely no different. You have to be prepared to weather the inevitable storms and challenges. This chart makes the connection so clear. Think about it. Bad seasons are like those uncontrollable market events. The only defense is to have a solid plan B already in place. Insects and diseases could be those drastic project failures. You need to build in precautions and quality checks from the start. Water scarcity? That's a funding challenge, which requires thinking ahead about efficiency. By thinking like a farmer, you start to see these risks coming and prepare strategies, like fostering innovation or continuous learning, long before a crisis ever hits. So,
After all the selecting and the sowing and the cultivating and weathering all those storms, we finally arrive at the goal of this entire journey, the harvest. This is the payoff for all of that patient, disciplined work.
So what's the timeline for this kind of harvest? Get ready for this. 5. 5 years. The true harvest of a great culture isn't a quarterly result. It can take years to fully mature. And that is a powerful reminder that we're not just building a machine here. We are growing a living, breathing ecosystem. And what does that final harvest even look like? Well, it's more than just profit or productivity numbers. It's a team that is healthy, that's thriving, and is genuinely connected. A great culture, cultivated over time, creates this shared sense of success and well-being, a place where everyone can truly flourish.
So, I'll leave you with this final thought, a question to take back to your own field. Looking at your team, your organization, your own leadership style, what seeds of thought, action, and habit are you going to intentionally plant tomorrow so you can reap the destiny you really want in the future?